Alright guys, welcome back to your 47th C++ tutorial, and this tutorial is just a continuation from the last tutorial. So what we did in the last tutorial is we pretty much were working on the people.h header file, and now we're going to hop over to the people.cpp to start actually building our functions. But now that I think about it, let's go ahead and hop back over to the people header file, and aside from just the constructor, let's go ahead and build another function just so we can print it out. It'll make everything a lot easier to see. So let's go ahead and make a function called, what was this one called? I want to make sure I don't name the same thing. This one was called print date, so we'll call this one print info, I guess. So print info. So this is pretty much gonna create our object, and this is gonna print out the information. Simple enough. So now that we have this people class created, in our constructor we said it was gonna take two things. Every person needs two pieces of information: a name and a birthday. So what we need to do is we need to assign the name that they passed in and the birthday that they passed in to the private variable's name and date of birth. So in order to do that, what we need to use is a member initializer list. Anytime you're working with a class inside of another class, you need to use a member initializer list. So go ahead and remember, don't put it inside your body right here. You put it between your parameters and your body. And again, all a member initializer list is, it's basically setting name equal to x, and it's going to set the variable date of birth equal to what do we pass in? BO. So BO. And also remember that you don't put a semicolon at the end of this. It already knows it's done because the body will start. So that's all we need to do for this right here. So again, we're going to be passing in two pieces of information. We're going to be passing it in a string and then a birthday object. It's going to take that string and set it equal to name, and it's going to take that birthday object and set it equal to date of birth. So now this class has a name, and now it has a birthday object that you can use. So let's take that information and we can use that whenever we're building this other function, print info. So let's go ahead and yeah, I guess I don't need to do anything before that. So let's go ahead and put void people print info, and of course this print info doesn't take any information, but it's just going to print something out on the screen. So what it's going to do is see out your name variable, which would be Bucky Roberts, and then go ahead and write something like was born on, and then make sure you don't end the line because I want all this to be on one line. And then after this, in order to print that date, remember, we have a function inside our birthday class that prints the date right here. And we already passed in a birthday object inside this class. So now this class has access to the birthday functions. So we can go ahead and use this date of birth object right here that we created in order to use this print date function. So let's go ahead and just write date of birth right there dot print date. Pretty cool, huh? So now whenever we print the info, it's basically going to say Bucky Roberts was born on 12/28/86. Pretty cool, huh? So now let's go over, ooh, wait a minute, I almost forgot to do this. We need to include a bunch of stuff inside this people class. I'll talk you guys through it. The first thing we need to include is our IO stream and STD because, you know, we need to include those basically in every class. And aside from that, we also need to include this birthday header right here. And the reason we need to do that is because whenever you're working with another class, you need to include the header. So yeah, I definitely just messed that up. Accidentally highlighted something, so one more time. Okay, let's not copy and paste it in random spots this time. Alright, so let's go ahead and in our main.cpp, everything looks good to go so far. Actually, what we need to do is, since we're going to be working with birthday objects and people objects in this one, we need to include those headers as well. So go ahead and grab this and include it right there, and go ahead and grab this and include it right there. So basically, you see, whenever you're working with the object, you need to include it. Simple enough. So check this out. Since the people class, in order to create an object, you need a birthday object. Whenever we run our main, we need to create that birthday object first. So remember, in our birthday object, when we first create it, our object needs three pieces of information: a month, a day, and a year. So let's go ahead and create a birthday object, if I spell it right. Birthday, and we'll just name it birth object, and it needs those three pieces of information: a month, a day, and a year. So now we have a birthday object created called birth object, and this birthday object pretty much took month, day, and year and set it equal to 12, 28, 86. So now we can go ahead and create a people object. People, I'm just going to name mine Bucky Roberts. And you're saying, alright, well, what information does the people class need? Well, whenever we create a people object, it needs a string as the name, and it needs a birthday object right there. So first, let's give it a name, Bucky the King, and the second piece of information it needed was a birthday object. Well, it just so happens that we created one up here, so let's go ahead and pass that in right there. So after this, what we need to do is might as well just print out the info right here. So remember, in the people class we had a function called print info, and it just printed out the name and the birthday. So go ahead and type your object name, Bucky Roberts dot print info. And remember, it doesn't take any parameters, and let's run this and see how many errors I got. One. So hold on one. And alright, I see what's going on. Alright, see this, whenever we created this constructor, we forgot to pass it in the parameters. So just go ahead and copy these parameters, copy, and paste. So hopefully that's the only errors we got, and it looks good to go. So Bucky the King was born on 12/28/1986. Works awesome. So let me talk you guys through one last time what we did. We just created a basic birthday class, and this birthday class had three variables: a month, a day, and a year. So whenever we created a birthday object, it took that month, day, and a year and assigned it to the three birthday variables: month, day, and a year. So we got the birthday class taken care of, and then we decided to build another people class. Now the people class, whenever you built a person, it needed two pieces of information. It needed a string, which we gave it Bucky the King, and it needed a birthday object. So when, for example, whenever we had a birthday object right here, we could pass it in second. And what it did is, in the main program, it took the name and set it equal to the variable name, and it took the birthday object and set it equal to the object date of birth. So that basically gave us access to the birthday class. So from there we were able to use date of birth and the function in the birthday class to print out the birthday. So basically whenever I run this, this is a function from the people class, and this is actually a function from the birthday class. We just tied them together in one function right here. Pretty cool, huh? So that is basically what composition is. Composition is basically using other classes inside your class, using objects of other classes inside your class. That's all I'm going to go over for composition now. Hopefully you guys understand it. If you don't, definitely go check out my forum and just type in whatever question you have, and a ton of people are willing to help you. But for now, that's all I have for you guys. This was a pretty long tutorial, so go take a break, go grab a milkshake or something, and when you're done, you're ready to move on to the next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.